What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Having Said That show. I'm Adi here with Jay.
What's up, guys?
And guys, today we're very excited to have the very funny, very talented Prashasti Singh on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time, Prashasti.
Thank you so much for having me here, guys. Feeling very young today.
Feeling very young, and before we started, you said that you're someone who doesn't have a lot of opinions, but on Having Said That, we love to start the show off with your controversial opinion. So let's get to it.
Okay, I've been thinking about this, and I think my controversial opinion would be, it's not. I think, okay, so hear me out. I was thinking that people like me who choose to stay unmarried and choose to not have kids. Government should be giving us some tax benefits. Okay, I really feel we are what the country needs. Okay, it's not even a funny movie. It's a very thought out. Okay, I'm like, think about this country. Does it need more children? No. Okay, and does it need more happy people? Yes.
Yes.
So because unless the government comes out and says we recognize you, and you guys as an entity, and you are good for this, our tribe won't be able to propagate the way it should be propagating. Okay,
Do you think more people will opt for that if there's
I feel
benefits?
in India the greatest thing would be that parents would be like, okay, you don't want to get married, at least we're saving some tax.
Oh, that's a good one.
That actually is not a bad idea.
That's a great opinion. I agree with you entirely. There should be some
Parents would
benefit.
be ecstatic.
Would this extend to, would there be like a different tax bracket if like you were single and had no kids, or married and had no kids as well? There's like different, if you're single and had no kids, that's the most, and then if you're married and you had no kids,
correct, they can really like
there's levels.
players into it.
Most countries give you a tax break for having kids.
Because
But
they
like, that's
need
like,
kids.
but that's like Japan and stuff, like where the average age is like 103 or something.
Yeah.
No, but there was this study done a while ago where they assessed the environmental impact of having one child.
Shit.
And it's bizarre, like the list of environmental damages or impacts of having a child, and they keep multiplying into how many kids are coming. It's a very fair thing to ask for.
Yeah, and I'm just saying that if you give us tax benefits is what? Of course, there's money involved. But I think again, country like ours, it's a certificate of approval that this country now, the country which is so into having families and staying together, undivided household, whatnot, is recognizing you as a tribe that is useful. Like it's a good cottage industry to have.
There've been a lot of like child controversial opinions on this show.
Yeah.
Like we've had a thing where someone said that there needs to be a test. Like not everyone should be a parent.
Oh yeah.
Like there has to be like an IQ test to make sure that you are able to take care of like a human.
Yeah.
So then
I think IQ test won't really.
like a
test.
situational kind of test,
Yeah.
It's wild.
I heard yesterday that in Argentina, they used to have a bachelor tax. So if you were unmarried and single, you would be taxed higher.
Really?
And so then it created this industry where you could hire someone to propose to, but they would reject you, and then they would come to the cops and say, "Oh, he tried to get married." So you would have like a heartbreak,
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Heartbreak benefits.
Yeah. So if you
It's
tried
wild.
to get married or got rejected, you wouldn't have to pay the tax.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but imagine
I love
like teaching
that.
a baby the F word or something. Like that's like for all the cons there are. Like imagine the pros.
That's the one pro you have.
Teaching a kid the F word. Imagine like showing him the things you're interested in, playing a sport with him. No, I'm gonna teach this little shit how to say the F word.
Yeah. But I feel like being single or like being unmarried and not having kids, you're already like saving so much money.
Yeah.
Weddings, too expensive.
Correct.
Kids,
Way too expensive.
disgusting.
Way too expensive.
Kids are too
Disgusting.
expensive.
Yeah.
They should not exist, bro.
I'm not saying they shouldn't exist.
Imagine like
Pay so much. Like you pay so much. Like my parents are still paying for me low key. Like it's another scene.
And you don't say thank you to them at all.
I
Right?
say,
you should call up your mom. You should call up your mom right now.
I
and
use
say,
this
like
opportunity to thank your
disgusting.
parents right
Thank
now.
you so much.
This is all
They
of your
watch and
opportunity
they
to
love
thank
it.
your parents. So if you guys are
Yeah.
watching, just call your parents up.
Thank
Dude,
so
imagine
much.
your parents pay so much for you and then your kid ends up a podcast.
They pay so much for me because I'm a podcast.
Like shit.
I'm so sorry, mom.
and they end up as a guest on that very podcast.
And they're watching, saying, kids. My parents are so dumb for having kids.
Is a big motivation for you not having kids? Because you were mentioning before the show all the places that you were traveling to.
Yeah.
Is that a big thing for you? You can kind of travel unburdened of literally anything.
No, to be honest, that's why I'm saying that, it's... That's why also when I really thought about this opinion of mine, okay, that I don't think a tax, a tax benefit or any incentive by, authorities this whole thing for travel. See, your instinct to have kids or not is very instinctive.
Mm-hmm.
So I have never had any instinct to have a child, and I think not everyone is like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people, because a lot of us, of course, in our 20s when we are young, okay, there's so much conditioning that, and as women specifically, we just feel like this is what we're supposed to do, and
Yeah.
sometimes we think it is our desire, or it's very programmed desire, right? So I think after some point when all of that washes away, some people still know that it's actually my original unique desire to have a child, whether my lifestyle includes travel, whether it is erratic, but I want to have a child and I'll make everything happen for the child. And then there are people like me who are like, oh, even if I'm living in one place, even if I am someone who doesn't have to travel, who has all the resources to take care of a child, I don't want. I just do not want. I just don't have that instinct, and that's why I am like this. The only thing I'm saying is that if you make it a cultural thing, I'll find more people like me. And once in a while, the doubts that people, I never have a doubt that whether I should have a child or not. I just sometimes, because the culture is so focused towards that this is the right thing to do and this is an aberration. I sometimes wonder that I'm such a regular person. I'm such a basic bitch. Okay, I am the most basic person you will find. How am I such a deviant? Am I doing something wrong? Why is this defined as the normal, and why is this the aberration? I'm never trying to be an aberration.
Yeah.
So what I'm just trying to say is that if culturally we make it into equal choices, this is also okay, this is also equally okay, then I think more people will be taking those calls based on what they really
Do
want.
you feel like it's hard to find other people who also don't want kids and stuff, and then you have to be with them? Because I know that's something that's why you're saying, like, if it's a more normalized thing, it'll be easier for people to be like, hey, even I don't want kids.
I think I meet people who don't have kids or are unmarried, but I think half of them are very depressed. I'm also sad. That's the thing, that because there's so much, even if you have, again, you are fully independent, you have all the resources to travel the world, because we're so conditioned to see something as normal and something as my life is too experimental. You're always under this weird pressure that, oh, am I doing it right? Should I be finally settling down? All my friends are doing this. Why am I going to die alone? This fear is not actually coming from inside me, but people keep saying you're going to die alone. Am I really? So let's say I have a lot of friends, okay, who happen to be unmarried and without children. But that's the thing, in their head somewhere also they happen to be like this. It's not a choice.
You have to you have to filter out the people who are unmarried and like want to be unmarried, and the people who are just unmarried. Like you meet somebody like, hey, you're also unmarried, and you're like, oh, this is this is not that kind of person. It's not by choice.
If it's the kind of person where you know they don't want to be unmarried, but they are, it's a bit like,
you spend too much time with them, then they're just like, I wish I was married. You're like,
and the
oh
thing is,
no.
there'll never be a binary to this, in the sense that even while I'm saying these big things, I said I have never had the instinct to have children. But when it comes to marriage, I've always been open. I don't know, but still I feel I've been that person, okay? I think in my late 20s or early 30s, where I'm like, oh my God, I'm unmarried because marriage has to happen, but it is not happening. And then I think just grow out of it to realize, oh, no. Just because I've tried and it has not happened doesn't mean that I can't step back and actually evaluate if I really want it or not. It's like you did not get through engineering, and then you keep thinking, I'm just not doing it because I could not make it. You grow up to realize, oh, I was never meant to do that also, right? So I think that's what I'm saying. It's a mix of people. Growing up, these instincts are so fluid that it's possible you're 40 and something in your mind shifts and you're like, you know what, I want a companion now.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I won't judge people for wanting to be married or feeling sad or not feeling sad about it. Okay.
He's feeling
What is the story here?
Go for it.
I think
It's your story. Tell it.
I think Sid's been vocal about this
also
as
like
well. Like
33 and I'm unmarried yet.
Yeah.
And I've been looking for someone for a while. So yeah, I think there's no story here. I've not found the person.
But
I'll tell you one thing.
he's on the lookout.
I'll tell you one thing. Like
anxious?
there's this thing. I think like the older you get, especially like 30, 32, 33 or so, it's harder for you to. So it's easier to go in the shell of, I'm happy by myself. I don't really need to get married. I don't need someone. This life is going good. I'm living well. So yeah, it's very easy to get into that little comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I would say that you should not get into that. Like I want to try to actively get out of it and not be in this.
do you also
space,
feel that it's easier when you find someone to know quicker if you're connected with them because you know
100%.
yourself so much
100%.
better?
You know,
So
you know
then,
what you want. And
yeah,
you,
exactly.
You know the things you want and don't want another
Yeah.
person.
So
Much
that
better.
helps
Yeah.
the filtration.
So
I
it
feel
helps
what
the
happens is
more, right?
it's rarer to find a connect, but
Yeah.
you know also very quickly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If there's a connect or
Yeah,
not.
because both of you all then are not kids. Like you'll know
Yeah.
exactly what you want, maybe from previous partners or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a slight tangent from this topic, but you were talking about like Indian society and women. And one of my friends who's like 30, she was telling me that before 30, a girl is single, but like after 30, a girl is unmarried.
Yo.
Like this, it's a very
crazy,
bad
bro.
thing that the way
Wild.
society works, but that's how they look at
Yeah,
women
yeah.
before and
God.
after 30.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I
A
mean,
single and
dudes,
unmarried.
dudes.
And for guys, it's what?
It's called
For guys, it's not.
No,
Player
if you're
bachelor.
yeah. Like
Right.
if you're over
Player
30, you're a
bachelor.
bachelor. That's
Yeah.
what the thing
And
is.
if you're under 30, you're a player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is it? Player bachelor?
I mean, it's a
it's
cool
just-
thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Single bachelor. I would say.
Bachelor has a better connotation than
Yeah.
unmarried.
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
It just sucks, but that's just how the Indian society is. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
how
for
they-
sure,
That is
man.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, don't you think you should get married just for the content? Like imagine your jokes are running dry.
if you
get-
find like a really goofy dude, you're just like, I can make so many
maybe,
jokes.
but maybe
You're it.
the non-married angle is also good enough for jokes.
Sure, but how many
Yeah.
like you have 3 specials worth of content
I
after
know
one
he's
out of one
right in the
marriage.
sense I don't think I should get married for it. But yeah, once in a while I'm like I see some comedian, okay, I'm watching some international comedian
Yeah.
doing some jokes on marriage. It's a great joke. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll do it.
Because you can even make it up
Ever
as
get
long
there.
as-
Yeah.
And with
It's a
kids,
life
the
hack,
kids
man. Yeah.
would
So
pay for themselves.
you get married, and then once the content runs dry, then you have a kid, bro. Then you have 3 more specials.
Mother-in-law. If you have
Yeah.
a mother-in-law, you're set.
Amazing.
Maybe I don't love jokes that much also.
She's like, I'm funny. I can
At this
make
point, you're like,
anything
I'll
funny.
go back to my corporate career. It's okay.
This also applies for YouTubers, Ariana. Eventually, you have a kid, and then you make
Oh my
like kid
God.
It's
content.
like your audience is gonna grow with you, right?
Not
They're
me,
all
not
gonna
me.
have kids, and you know.
Get ready
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me as I go to my birthing suite.
Ariana's like the number one
My
birth
birthing
coach
bag.
on YouTube. She's just like talking through the whole pregnancy. She's like,
This is kind of like not a deviation, but like basically I recently watched a documentary about this woman who's this YouTuber and a family vlogger, and how she vlogged her kids growing up, and then her kids were like, they sued her.
Oh yeah, she was
Yeah.
torturing her.
Yeah, she was torturing her
But
kids.
she was like, she was legitimately like
Yeah.
torturing
Like
her.
they would be
what do you mean though?
like the kid is acting like something and on the camera it's looking very natural.
Yeah.
And then the backstory is that she would hit the kid and
Yeah.
make the
Damn.
kid do
She'd be
cute
like,
things.
yo, like do this properly, like
She'd
the
be like,
camera's rolling.
thumbnail pic, cry for the thumbnail.
Fuck.
Why does this make Aryan laugh so much? I don't understand. This
That's
guy.
wild, bro.
Sees Instagram
Yeah.
likes, bro.
No, because
You know.
Arya, oh, hey, relax, bro.
But
not
yeah,
exposing
that
them.
was. It wasn't because they were vloggers. It's because she was like legitimately abusive.
Yeah,
like
but
one of
also
her kids was
also
found.
Family
Very-
vlogging in
very
general is
legit.
pretty weird.
Yeah.
no?
Yeah, family
Family vlogging,
vlogging.
unless your kid is like crazy into it, like
The Rizzler.
you know,
Your
yeah,
kid-
like the Rizzler, for example. Shout out the Rizzler,
I'm
man.
sure Rizzler's gonna have
That's-
some heavy therapy debt
Yeah,
or
for
something.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
you know?
we discussed this. I think all child stars are now child influencers, right?
Yeah.
Like that's shifted. So I think as a kid, yeah, you just have to stay.
I
away
mean,
from
I
that.
also understand so sometimes because a lot of my friends who are not even content creators, the two types of parents basically, like, one who are not my age group, right? Either not active on social social media at all. The kinds who are active are the kinds who would never expose their kids' face on social media. I mean, they would, of course, you'll have emoticon. Or
Yeah.
But I can also see some are very.
It's not like I'm going to recognize.
Emoticon.
Oh shit!
What's
What
that?
do you guys call it?
Emoji. Yeah.
Oh my god! I was going to say smiley. I was like, no, they are young emoticon.
We were around for the emoticon.
Yeah, back in the
Yeah.
MySpace days.
Guys, why does culture change so quickly? I'm always catching up.
You know
on
what?
it.
Culture's changing on us sometimes as well. Like I'll feel old sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
100%,
No
dude.
cap, huh?
You guys are like 25, 26, 27, whatever. The culture is definitely changing for you all also.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far.
no, it is.
Yeah.
All these
Relax,
20,
it's changing.
21.
It's changing.
No,
it's
you
changing.
need to hear this. You need to hear this, my friend.
What's the second type of mother?
A second, sorry. So one is the more the
Yeah,
kind
why
who
blur
don't
the
expose
child's
their
face?
children.
It's not like I'm gonna see him and be like, hey, that's that's.
Maybe they have some inhibition.
Yeah, you would, but other people will, bro. That's
the
why they
creed.
fucking know.
It's also nazar. Right?
Yeah.
But I also see mothers who are fully, who fully enjoy putting their child out there.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I can see they're not doing anything special, but it's just it's a cute child. I think the instinct is the way we create content. I mean, like people should see it, right? Similarly, they've created something so cute. Okay? I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay? Just look how cute my child is.
Look at
But
this
I understand
content.
that instinct also
Yeah.
that you've made a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? And the thing happens to be too cute. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and all of us are at some level children only, that
Yeah.
you just want people to see the amazing thing you've made.
Yeah.
So I understand those moms also who are like, okay, look at the kids are very cute. Okay.
That's a unique perspective. I like that. It's like here's a drawing I made.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Because I could have had a child by now, right? All my friends have had children, and among all these friends, they all operate differently. Some are very conservative with how much they expose their kids to social media, and some are very open. For them, it's
Yeah.
like I exist on this platform, my child exists, and because they're not even big content creators, they don't feel unsafe. Who would come after them, right?
Yeah.
It's just like that. When I see them, showing off their kids, because I know them so well, I know that it's not. There's zero exploitation in
Yeah.
them, right? It's just they're just so happy. Like it's
Yeah.
literally like a drawing they've made. This is so good.
But
the sun's in
I
the corner and
think you
everything.
know these folks. I think that's a rare thing though. I think many people are. I'm not saying they're exploiting their kids, but many people are not with that mindset of like, I just want to show off this amazing thing I've created.
It depends. If
Like,
you're like
people
a
are with
regular
that bit of
person.
like, yeah, I want to make this like commercialize it.
No,
if
no.
you're a
The
regular
average
person, then who
doesn't,
cares?
The average person wants to see, look, my friends and family, look at my kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think content creators, yes.
The
I think
creator-
if you
yeah.
get into that mode that this has to be a business now,
Yeah.
of course, just to create content every day, when you do it with yourself, also you get exploitative with yourself, right?
Yeah, for
Every
sure.
day I have to get up, put makeup on my face, and be on the camera. So if you're using a child to do that, of course it'll get in that zone.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, overall in general, people who are not doing
Sure.
it as a as content,
Yeah.
are sometimes just doing it very instinctively. That
Yeah.
look at my piercing, look
So-
at my child.
My brother had 2 daughters in the last 4 or 5 years, and when I ask him like what's his favorite thing about being a dad, is like he tells me like it's amazing to see some of what I like about myself in them. And I read that you credit your kind of sense of humor to your dad as well.
Yeah.
Is that something you feel like you'll miss not having a kid? To like
Oh.
not imbibe something you love in them?
I mean, when you put it like that, it's very, it's very great. It's a very good question
Yeah, it's
because
very
I'm
good
like, oh yeah, maybe I will.
Adi, it's just like that you change your mind.
I need to leave, guys.
No, see, the thing is, definitely, hypothetically, when I think about it, it would be very interesting
Yeah.
to have a version of you, which also is a mix of some,
Yeah.
someone else's personality, and they have some of me. Of course, it's a great thought experiment, but again, it's not interesting enough for me to dedicate my life to it. The great thing about humor or anything that you're making and putting out there is that this is going to so many people, in the sense that tomorrow another person doesn't have to be my child. If, for example, if I do, right now I'm still in a very nascent stage in my career, but say 10 years down the line, if I actually am creating great content or great comedy, I can totally see that someone who say 10 years, starting 10 years after me,
Yeah,
is
for sure.
actually inspired by
It's
me. in a good way.
inspiration,
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all, of course, products of the people we have read
Of
and
course.
consumed, right? So that way, I feel very comfortable that if my legacy is good, I'll find, there will be careers of this
They'll
legacy.
make an impact regardless.
That's actually such a great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either have a kid or you have a
Comedy
podcast.
career.
And I think but I also feel, because I thought about it so much, because life made me think about it so much, that I feel that if you are actually in a field where you feel creatively fulfilled, or you actually feel that you're making something and it's in the world,
Sure.
for people to see, I think that we are the kind of people who actually have the privilege to not think about having kids, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Then
for
your
a lot of
legacy
people,
stands on its own.
having a kid is the only outlet of creation, right? Is the only way they can
Damn.
leave a legacy behind. But some of us have been so lucky that we have other ways of leaving a legacy behind. So that's why I feel we can be more objective about the decision of having
Yeah.
children or not.
It's a really cool thought.
Yeah.
I didn't expect
Yeah.
to get this introspective one from
I know, I really love that.
This is actually great.
So, like,
honestly.
when
Sid,
people
how come
say,
you've
like-
never come up with these points?
Well, it's on your, it's on your.
It's
It's not
interesting
common.
that you mentioned, watching and imbibing things from just culture that you're looking at, because we had a segment that Aman had planned where we talk a little bit about your favorite things in life. Okay, so you want to shoot out some of
Should
the
we do
topic? Let's do it.
Okay, so basically this segment is, like you said, your amalgamation of the content you've read and consumed, and the experiences you experienced in your life. And so to get to know a little bit about you better, I'm going to ask you some of your favorites and then we can discuss them.
Okay.
So simple, classic, your favorite movie.
My favorite movie, oh my god. I'll tell you, my favorite movie growing up, because this movie has been the longest in my life.
Yeah.
Life,
Favorite.
yeah.
Then things keep changing every 2 years, right?
Sure.
For sure.
Used to be Mr. India. Okay, that's
Oh,
like, I must have seen it when I
Amazing.
was fairly young,
Uh-huh.
and then I would watch it every time I could
Yeah.
on television. And the thing is, that movie, as I was growing up, it would never disappoint. Somehow, it had enough to keep
Yeah.
me hooked till I was like a full-grown teenager. And of course, after that, even when I went to college and all, I was like, oh, this movie not uncool.
Yeah.
Like, because I think my situation changed. Like, I was literally living in a very small town in a village. Then I moved to Delhi. Okay, I was among the cool kids, and I'm like, if I say Mr. India, they don't cringe so much. So
It's acceptable.
yeah, I mean that movie was funny. Okay,
Yeah.
that Sridevi. I think it's my initial inspiration for funny also. Ki this woman, okay, rarely you see a funny woman, okay,
Yeah.
a woman who gets to say funny lines in
Yeah.
Bollywood movies. And the truth is, I was only exposed to Hindi movies when I was growing up. Okay, there's no other culture in my life. So, like all these elements, okay, I'm so glad that even in those 80s used to be really bad movies, by the way. Okay, 80s and 90s, if you look at Bollywood, people actually. The other dark age is now. Okay. What is that? So it has happened earlier in the time I was growing up.
Yeah, now they're just remixing the 80s movies. They're just doing the same thing.
It's a nadan stage.
Oh my god.
Get it? Anyway.
We love that movie on the
Wait,
show.
who are your favorite stand-up comics?
My favorite stand-up comics. Oh my god, that's a very now this question just keep getting complicated for me, because when I was young, when I was starting
Like now
off,
you have friends in the industry.
Yeah.
So let's keep it not Indian.
Okay. I think I remember watching Ali Wong when I was starting.
Yeah, she's
And
funny.
I was like, oh my god, this can also be done. Because
Yeah.
before that, I'd seen women doing comedy, and it was fun. But I think something about her special. Okay, like she's fully pregnant. She's
yeah.
angry. She's so articulate, and she's so silly at the same time.
Yeah, she's
I'm like,
cool, man. Yeah.
I think before that I'd only seen, and I'm saying women because it makes a difference, right? When you see I've seen a lot of men doing comedy. Somehow I could never think of myself doing comedy when I was watching them, because I was like, oh, this is the thing men do. Okay, great. Okay. In general, when we talk to men, also they're trying to be funny, and we're like, ha ha ha. So I mean that, but I was that chick, yes. Okay. So see these women being funny, okay, and Ali Wong's so funny, and also again so centered with that funniness. I'd seen angry women before that, okay, honestly.
Yeah.
Like Amy
women
Schumer.
comedians being really. What is the joke here?
We hate Amy Schumer.
No comment.
I think
She's coming out with a new special or something.
I think Trainwreck. Have you ever seen Trainwreck with Bill Hader and Amy Schumer?
Well,
Yeah.
John Cena?
John Cena, LeBron James.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Such a funny movie. Genuinely such a funny
Yeah.
movie.
She is funny. But
As an actor, I don't mind her. As her stand-up,
She
it's
wrote
pretty
Who are
good.
some of like the funny comedic actors that you found?
oh my god, I mean,
Because there's a lot of those. Like
Ali Wong is also.
Ali Wong,
She's
she's
a
an actor as
great
well.
actor.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone
She
like
can be
Tina Fey
great.
or like
That
Julia
30 Rock I
Louis
love.
Dreyfus.
So these women, again, all these women have been my inspiration.
Yeah.
But I said nothing like Sridevi. Because I think when you are that young, if someone makes an impact on you, that is the starting point. That this is a kind of person I can be. Because you have to understand the time I was growing up and I was only exposed to Bollywood. Again, everything else, stand-up comedy, American comedians, Ali Wong, they all came to my life much later.
Yeah.
But I think when I was only consuming either television or Hindi movies, imagine the culture used to be very Saas Bahu shows, or in Bollywood you had these action heroes and a very supportive female figure.
Yeah.
There's hardly any woman who was actually owning the lines, being funny. So I think the only person who sort of planted, or there are these comedians, female comedians like Tuntun, okay, where you're like,
You're laughing at
you are
them.
here for the comedy, okay,
Yeah.
you are not really playing a role in the narrative at
Yeah.
all. So again, I'm saying, when I was saying like 80s, 90s, really bad movies, but some people made some good movies, or some people made a difference in people like, in lives of people like us, where they were women like this, or like, oh my god, this is a way to exist as well. I don't have to be like, sexy Madhuri. Okay,
Yeah.
I can be a clumsy Sridevi, because that is how I think when you're young girl, you're looking at these people and like, oh, when I grow up, I want to have this vibe in my life. So when you look at Madhuri, in her movies, you're like, oh, will I ever be pretty like this? But when you look at Sridevi, you're like, will I be funny like this, man? Okay.
I love that.
Wow.
So I mean, that's why I'm like, I have understood much later how much those movies like Chalbaz or Mr. India had an effect on my life in what I'm doing right now.
That's so cool.
wonderful.
I never thought of these movies as like the angle of the funny female character,
Yeah.
or Sridevi as this comedic person, but that's a cool perspective.
No.
Yeah.
Another thing, someone was saying on a reel, and I realized, it's not my original thought.
You read a paper.
You read a
We
paper,
do this all the time.
But someone was saying how people my generation, okay, if you look at us talking, we're very animated girls, okay, like when I talk on stage, people be like, "Aapke expressions kitne change hote hain, you are so animated." And when you look at younger girls, for example, who they have how to put it, a more stoic face, okay, they have more sass. And someone was saying how the Bollywood heroines in the 90s used to be more we have grown up on people being very expressive, okay, Madhuri, Juhi Chawla, she's very funny, but
Yeah.
I think even when you look at all these women, they were told to be very animated. Okay, so we've seen those women being okay, acha, to tum ghar nahi aoge aaj. So when we express, okay,
Yeah.
it is we hit that level of animation. But say people who are watching women 10 years, like for example,
Yeah.
someone who just who grew up watching a Deepika or Alia would be slightly different, right?
Yeah.
Someone who's growing up watching Khushi Kapoor would be very different.
Yeah. So,
Emotionless.
No, this is why I wanted to do this segment, because I think you don't think about how these like subtle things really impact you.
Yeah.
And no one will think that you're a comedian and it came from Mr. India and Sridevi, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And on that note, what is your favorite joke that you have written?
Oh my god. It will be such a dud when I say it.
No,
Don't
say it,
don't
say
say it. They'll go watch it.
say it.
No, I think they should go watch it, because I think there's.
You can tell us the premise behind the joke.
Tell us the
maybe.
context.
I think this joke actually, I might have written, more. I might have written better jokes when it comes to the craft of it, but this joke was just so satisfying to do. This is one joke I've done, which is about how. I've been on these dating apps for so long and so on and off that मेरी आँखों के सामने लड़के बड़े हो गए हैं, okay? People who are saying not looking for anything serious, okay? सब गंजे हो के लौट आए वापस. Looking for serious stuff only, don't waste my time, okay? So, and there's this whole bit around that.
Yeah.
I found it so cathartic. Okay? I was like, it's as if, for over years I've been so frustrated, okay,
Yeah.
by these men calling the shots, okay? And then they come back, they're like, oh, I need to get married ASAP.
What the hell, dude? Why? Bro, come on.
So at what age did you join the first dating app you ever joined?
My first dating app?
Yeah.
20, you big dog.
No, much.
When he was
recently,
20, IG wasn't there.
31.
Oh, recently.
Yeah.
Shadi.com.
I mean, before that, I was on, it was the arranged marriage route, but then obviously that wasn't working out. So
Yeah.
then dating apps.
Hinge.
You were never on like Tinder, Hinge.
Hinge. Dating apps, no, Hinge.
But
And Bumble.
Before 31, you were
No.
never on. Oh.
Oh wow.
I don't know why I had this aversion to them, but it made no sense. It was just in my mind. But then one day my friend was like,
Aversion toward women.
dude,
But have you?
what is up with you? I'm bro.
So weird today. He's having a good time.
Good. I like
But
it.
otherwise, now it's working for you, the dating apps.
Well, now I'm dating someone, so there's no dating app.
Because
But yeah.
I understand this aversion, and every time I go back on dating apps, I'm like, I need to be open to this. I can't have this much of a block.
Love it.
Yeah.
But then the block really comes back.
Bro, what I say?
I think it is a generational thing, though. Even us, like
Yeah.
we're not super programmed through dating apps. Like I think it's maybe 2 years younger than us, where dating apps is all it is.
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
the only way to meet people.
Yeah.
Even we're still in like the hybrid generation where it's like we grew up on sitcoms where it was embarrassing to meet on a dating
Got
app.
it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Like, your hope is that you
kinda-
would meet naturally.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think what has happened though is not that people still meet like through a friend or whatever, right? Like none of us met our partners on dating apps. Oh,
I
maybe
met
you
mine,
did.
yeah.
But
So it worked.
It worked. Actually,
it does
That's
work
crazy.
No, it
because
works.
one thing
Like-
about dating apps is you know the people on there.
Want
you
to
know what their
date.
intentions are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it like takes away a lot of that like awkwardness when you meet someone and you're into them. You know that like okay, either they're looking for someone or they're at least into me, etc., etc.
But Aman, like, can you trust those intentions? Like, you
Of
don't-
course, dude. We know
Yeah.
so many people who've had successful
Yeah,
like
I know a
relationships.
lot
I
of
think
I
you
know a lot
already
of
mentioned,
people.
right, that I think when you grow up, you also develop a better intuition to
Your radar is
Yeah.
better.
what they're
yeah,
saying
yeah.
and what they mean.
Yeah.
You get the vibe. I think my main problem has been that I also have friends who I encouraged, to go and join dating apps, and
Yeah.
they're married with those same partners.
Whoa,
So I have
that's sick.
multiple stories. Okay, in
Yeah,
fact, people who
it's-
come to my shows,
Yeah.
so many of them, the people who come for a first date, and I make fun of them because, of course, first date
Yeah.
in front row. Okay, they met through Bumble. Oh wow, okay, this is so green. Okay, it's like comedy gold. Okay, first date you come here. Okay, and then they actually make it a point to come 1 year later.
Oh.
So
together.
cute.
Yeah.
At that point, they're just shoving
That's
it in
cool.
like in
Yeah,
front.
but that's
Yeah.
sweet.
That's
It has happened multiple times. And
Yeah.
as I'm saying it, people have come to me and they're like, we felt like we should go to your show for
Yeah,
our
so
one
you
year
have to pretend like you want to go to their
anniversary.
wedding and stuff.
Yeah, actually not. But
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So on that note, what's your favorite dating app? No, I'm kidding. I read an interview of yours.
Okay.
And you were talking about your show in Hyderabad, and they asked you what have you done in Hyderabad, and you said I've eaten a lot of food, including mutton biryani and halim. And I said she's just like me for real. And so on that note, what's your favorite food?
oh my god, I really like to eat food. Favorite food of all things. Let me just
Favorite cuisine? How about
Favorite
that?
cuisine. See, I genuinely, of course, my hometown now is Lucknow. My family's shifted to Lucknow. Okay, so definitely I enjoy the Avdi cuisine a lot. But that is something I can't sustain. Like I can't eat a lot of it.
fair.
See, international cuisine, I feel what I like the most. I think. I actually correct. I discovered this that it's my most original cuisine opinion that I was in London again, okay, and I've been to Scotland earlier, and I really like the seafood they have in Ireland and Scotland, okay, like not just the fish and chips, okay, but they have something with the way that there's seafood that's fried, and then there's a lot of citrusy flavors and
Interesting.
something creamy, and I'm like, this really does something to my brain, because all my friends keep saying ki those places don't have great food. What do you eat?
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, I keep eating crabs and lobsters, okay, and fish, and no one talks about these things. So I think my most recent cuisine obsession has been those
Scottish?
Scottish seafood.
So rad. The Scottish seafood.
I love that. I love that.
I don't know where it belongs. But those lobster rolls or crab burgers.
yes.
I bet you didn't expect that answer.
I loved it so much.
Sure.
That is like my favorite answer we've gotten to one of those.
Yeah, it's so unique. But I do love a lobster roll.
Yeah, see, this lobster roll took me on a chain of basically discovery that, okay, if I like this, what else could be similar to this? So I had a week in London this time. Full time, I'm just looking for fish. Not just fried fish, more gourmet fish.
Okay, Chala, I have another favorite. Favorite holiday destination that you've been to?
Favorite holiday destination that I've been to? Okay, let me think.
got-
I really...
I will expect
No,
some
no, no.
weird answer.
I was gonna be like, it's got to be Australia and Europe because
Yeah, Australia and Europe. My shows in April and May. Please.
Amazing.
Oh, that. Australia I've been to, great. Europe also been. But no, to answer your question, I think my most favorite holiday destination so far has been Amsterdam. Okay, and the thing is,
All right.
I like it legal. I don't like to break the law. I go to Amsterdam twice in 1 year to do my legal stuff.
After the India got latent controversy, I like it legal. I don't like to break the law.
All you're doing in Amsterdam is going on the canals and just enjoying
Walking around.
Just walking around.
Such a beautiful
bicycling
city.
around.
Bicycling around.
Cycling.
Eating
Yeah.
some cookies and walking.
Yeah. Love a coffee
Have a
shop.
coffee shop.
some stroop
Love just
waffles.
sitting on the cafe.
Something botanical.
That's true, man.
botanical.
Love
Herbs.
nature, herbs. Gotta love being in nature.
Yeah,
you
वो
know.
अदरक टाइप की चीजें.
lot of great joints to chill.
A lot of buds to hang out.
Marijuana. What?
No, but also I feel though, Europe or generally, the first world for us has so much to offer. There's so many beautiful cities. I think the draw of Amsterdam to me also is like 4 of my best friends. Two different couples basically who I've lived with in different times in life. This one couple I used to live in when I moved to Mumbai, and another couple I used to live in when I was in Bangalore, and both of them happen to be in Amsterdam. So it's a great thing for my solo trip because I get to be on my own whenever I want to, and then I get to hang out with these people I love whenever I want to. So I'm like, this is the best way to do a holiday where you can be totally on your own, but you have the security that if I get bored, I'll make a call.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have the last favorite to round this off. Let's talk about something a little bit more special. Pun not intended. What is your favorite show you've performed? And it doesn't have to be like a show that was, something that meant something to you.
Oh no! This is something coming from my heart. That see, I have had this is my right now I'm touring with my third special. The first one was called Durkhadi Sharmai, and it was great because the first time I'm doing a solo show, and when you're new to something, I think it holds true for all fields that when you are new to something and you have mild success, you actually feel fairly confident. Oh my God, I'm killing it. Okay, so I knew nothing. Most of my writing is very newbie writing, it's not very crafted, but I was very happy with that show. But when that went away, when I put it out on YouTube, the second show I did, I really struggled. I was like, oh my God, I was in that stage as an artist where you have expectations of yourself, but you're not matching them, and you every day is painful. Even though this show is making people laugh, that ideally you want to do something else. So I really was very pained with that show. But that's why this new show I'm doing. Okay, that's why it really I really understand how much your work can fulfill you or make a difference to your life, because as if I've had this whole journey and now I finally come to a place where I want to be and where I am is aligned again. And it's also, this show also came very naturally to me. Like, I think sometimes in stand-up what we do is we have these bits, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and we join them together to make a special. But the most beautiful thing that can happen to you while writing is that if your show comes out as a monolith, that you write one bit and then as a tree it grows in all directions, and you're like, oh, this beautiful thing has happened on its own. I just kept, I kept chiseling. And
it doesn't feel disjointed. It doesn't feel like 5 different bits.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm like, how? And then you see, there really is, when creative people talk about how the genius visits you sometimes and it,
the flow.
Yeah, the flow happens. I'm like, yeah, of course I have written these things, and I'm not saying they're extraordinary, but somehow the flow of it seems to be,
Supernatural.
ki something else was at work with me to make this
Nice.
happen.
I love
So,
that.
and again, I'm just saying that when you watch it, like, yeah, jokes to maar rahi hai. But it is, for me,
No,
it
it's
has been
not-
that experience
Yeah.
where
I love that.
it's also very life affirming when you've really struggled with your work for a bit and you start feeling like, am I really cut out for this? Have I just been lucky that I get, because you keep judging people also, this one not talented. I've become one of those who has a mouthpiece, who has airtime, but has nothing really of value to say. So, like, from that track, when you finally come to a place, you're like, oh my God, fine. The thing is, this stage might not sustain, but I know one can come through a bad
Yeah.
phase
Sure.
to a
So,
good phase again.
what is
Where
your
can
special-
people see this special?
Right now I'm touring with it.
Yeah.
April. Australia in April, Europe in May. The show is called Divine Feminine,
Awesome.
and I'll be touring across the world with it. So I think towards the end of the year I probably will do US and Canada shows.
Oh,
And
sick.
India I keep I have done
Yeah.
a tour right now. I'll do it again towards the end of the year.
Awesome. We'd love to be there for the
Oh
next
yes, guys,
Bombay show.
you will. I think you guys
I
will
would love
like it.
I would love to be there.
And
That's
now she's going to
crazy.
perform all of it for us.
No, but I did want to ask. So I
Yeah.
know that before you started in comedy, I think you started with improv, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys knew, but she used to work at like a full corporate structured job at Deloitte or
Yeah.
something. And I was wondering, all of us are doing 3 live shows at the Habitat at the end of this month.
Okay.
This is the second time we're doing it, and for the first time we're actually trying some improv stuff in this
Oh.
live act. Any tips? Because none of us have done this before.
You've never done improv.
I mean, we've done it
really.
like
I
we've
did
done
a
it
class
in
once.
like class
In
and stuff.
school and shit.
I did
Yeah.
an
Oh
improv
God,
class in
it's going to be
college.
a disaster. It's going to be a lot of fun. See, the thing is, I started with improv because I was doing a job and I wanted to do something on the weekend. And these improv classes are great for that, right?
Yeah.
That it's like doing a salsa class. Okay, then you go do a class, you meet some people. But I think the thing about improv is, if you're having a good day together, the great thing is you are friends.
Yeah.
Because you know each other's comfort. If it's going well, it goes very well. But when it goes south, it's like so cringe.
All I know about improv is from like watching The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Where he has a gun every single time.
So you see, the thing is, those scenes when you see, the Michael going for improv and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
this is so real.
That's what I'm thinking of in my head.
What about
when he
whose line,
whispers
dude?
to the guy and he
Whose
goes.
line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's not like that. That's not like
That's like actual
improv,
talent.
right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very
That's
good.
like-
Like,
that's
that's the
like the
best
best of the
improv.
best.
That's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Is that improv?
That is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not only
Yeah.
improv, it's
Sure.
not, it not only are they the best, it's like the best edit of the
Of the best, yeah.
But I think the great thing with this group is going to be that because you guys do a podcast together, you are used to giving each other airtime or you used to yes-anding. A lot of times the problem happens in a group of people who think they're all artists and come together and they're friends also, but the instinct is to shine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Improv, I think
Yeah.
you have to really kill that instinct.
Yeah.
That we shine or nothing shines.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
if you're into this mode that I need to say a great line, I need to be, of course, sometimes you might need to save a scene, but I think that's the great thing about you guys being in this dynamics already, where you need to know where to step. Maybe your role in the scene is to just be silent, okay? To be a tree, okay? And that makes a great scene. So, I think...
What do you say?
I'll be the tree.
Yeah.
No, say, come on.
man.
What's your favorite improv game?
Oh my God.
We should.
I have
Hey,
planned-
can we do one? Can you make us do one right now?
Okay,
quick bit.
I have planned one.
Okay.
You want to do it?
I think if it gets stale, I'm just gonna fake a heart attack and just.
So this is
go for it.
actually based on. Is there coasters back there? So we designed our own drinking game that's coming out at the end of this month, and there's a rule in that called pitch please.
Okay.
Okay, where I give 2 people a useless product and they enter the Shark Tank.
Okay.
So I'll give you let's say
So
these
bad.
3 are your judges, and you have to try and pitch this product to them. Okay. So I've come up with some products.
So
Let's
I'm-
start with Ariana versus Prashasti.
It's going to be so bad.
That's insanely on the spot. I would.
Yeah.
I would kill
I
myself.
thought you would say Aman. I thought you would say Aman because he's like our best.
Aman
is
will
like
be
a-
your final
yeah.
boss.
Guys,
will be the
I'm
final
so
boss.
bad at pitching stuff.
We are all bad at pitching stuff. We are podcasters, not salesmen.
That's crazy. Okay, come.
Okay, are you ready?
Are you scared? No, guys, I'm so bad. You will see how bad I am.
Okay.
You might have to cut this out. You'll see how bad.
Because you have the advantage, you go first.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
your product, guys, These are your sharks.
Okay.
Your product is 3D printed A4 paper.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So please.
Namaste sharks. आज मैं यहाँ पे आई हूँ. The product is 3D printed A4 sheets.
A4 paper. Yeah.
You know this, it's your product, so.
Yeah. So what I have for you here is a very unique, very well thought out product which is going to revolutionize the stationery industry.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
Stationery
want-
industry.
Stationery
I'm heavily into the stationery
You are
industry.
into
Actually,
stationery?
I am into
Yeah?
the stationery.
Guy, you have no life or what? Sorry. Who is into okay, sorry.
Don't think you should anger the sharks.
I don't.
They'll come back and
isn't
bite.
this timed? Hey,
I don't
crazy.
think.
Yeah, she's waiting for a similar pitch. Exact same pitch she's waiting for. So as you can see, this 3D printed paper is like any other paper. Yeah, you can write on it.
Okay.
You can make paper planes out of it.
All right. Paper pens.
And you can burn it, but you should not
Oh, should not
because
burn it,
your
yeah.
generation is going to suffer with
That's true, that's true.
with a lot of carbon. And otherwise, also, guys, even though paper, is getting outdated, yeah, who the fuck uses paper? But okay, imagine a time where no one's using paper. And you are the only one using paper. Okay, this is antique printing machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, how many of these papers have you sold yet? What's the revenue look like? What is the what?
See, I'm not into those things. I'm not into.
You're the sales girl.
Yeah. Like I like to create
Yeah.
and then leave it out in the world. I don't concern
You're
myself.
an artist, a 3D artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist. Okay.
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 Ariana.
See, I think because I know these guys, I definitely have an advantage.
Okay.
These three minds, greatest minds of our generation. They
I mean, your words, not mine.
We'll say. I'm trying to give you money right now, please.
so ahead of their time. These like Aman, Sid, Jay, they have a group where they are constantly like looking at the new advances in tech. They are like
no need to out
always
us
on
like that,
it.
Ariana.
Like
She's selling
Elon
us the
Musk
product.
comes to them.
I like it. I like it.
He comes to them for advice.
Ariana, we
What
are the
are you
products of
telling
which-
Elon Musk these days? Why are you not giving him stage
He didn't listen to us. He didn't listen to us.
Crazy. Yeah, yeah.
Look.
You know what? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, you guys, will be so interested in 3D printing.
I think I would, based
Right?
on what you already said about
Right?
us, which is true.
Exactly.
If that's true, then that must
That's
be
what
true.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
3D printing, amazing new technology.
What?
You can print anything you want, but to start with, so that, our common minds can understand
You're geniuses.
we are printing paper.
Oh.
Guys, give it to her.
Isn't that crazy?
She sold it everything except for the paper.
Legit, you sold us, bro.
If she's right about what she said about us, which is
Which is
True,
100%
it's
true.
true.
then based on that assumption, if she thinks we like this, that must also be true.
It's quick maths.
She didn't.
That is
She
quick
didn't sell the
maths.
product.
No, but
she
the
sold
product,
the product.
is
The product
3D
is
printing
us liking
paper.
it.
But
It's the newest thing on the
Okay,
market.
sharks. Let's give the winner for this round.
That's crazy. I didn't get a finish.
Prashasti.
That is
There's
crazy.
all, Ariana, you were
Yes, I
all
like.
fluff, no form.
Okay, round one you take. You know what? Round two, let's go back to
Your stuff, bro.
round two. We're gonna do a classic. Jay versus Aman.
Okay.
And the winner of this will go against Prashasti.
is this for a class?
The classic is you versus Jay.
Greatest minds of
I
our
came up with the
generation.
topics. Okay, Aman, you're gonna go first since you have the advantage.
shit.
Your product is a single-use pen drive.
Ooh.
Guys, there's nothing more valuable today than your information. And in the society we live in, scammers, hackers, all of these horrible things that are trying to steal your information. And there are things you don't want out there in the world, but you are forced to share. And how can you trust these big corporations that can easily get hacked? Banks get hacked. Google has been hacked. Facebook has been hacked. Data is leaked daily. So what if I give you a solution, a way, I present an opportunity
What is
where
the-
you can share sensitive information with the knowledge that it will not be out there post that.
Oh.
For example, I have to send my bank details to someone, but I don't want to do it online. Encryptions can be broken. I put it on my hard drive. I make sure that the hard drive goes to the person it needs to go to.
So once
They
you
use it.
once you put
is
it,
it a pen drive
it's a
or a hard
single
drive?
use.
Yeah,
Is it a pen drive or a hard
once it's
drive?
done, they get the information.
No, it's single use,
Once you
bro.
put it, you put the hard drive in your laptop. You put the information. on
Single
it.
use
You
means.
remove it and the
It's
information
single
gone.
use.
What do you mean? It is single
I don't
use.
really understand the
Once
product.
you
What
put
is
it
the
in.
confusion on the product, guys?
Yeah, single use, and the use is transferring data.
Yeah.
But just to who though? Because
Yeah.
you can't use it again.
But single use
can.
means that you transfer it on the pen drive and it's gone.
And it's
a
on the
trash
pen drive. The pen
can,
drive is
bro.
never usable. And it's as good as the pen drive is.
No, single use
I
is
was-
transferring
It means you
data.
transfer
Yeah.
it.
No.
But you can't tell me what the product is, bro.
Yeah.
He literally
I
can.
see the
Yeah,
vision. I see the vision.
okay,
I see the
you
vision.
go.
Okay, let me just put a word out to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Shamaru.
I love Shamaru.
You love Shamaru?
I love Shamaru.
I love Shamaru.
Back in the day,
Back in the
Shamaru.
day.
You remember Shamaru? Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
of course.
Yeah.
Books, DVDs, all kinds of shit. You know, where is the love gone? Where has it gone? Straight to the single-use pen drive. We all have laptops. I mean, you know, we're traveling, we're at work. Want to put in a quick movie, a quick season of TV. You know, just order a single-use pen drive. We'll call it Pen Maru, whatever. You know, we'll come up with a name. The name doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. We'll come up with a name later. You know, you go with your siblings. You go with your siblings to Shamaru. That culture is gone. It's dead. You know, it doesn't exist anymore. You know, so we can you know download some cool seasons of TV shows, binge watch them, some cool movies. Single-use pen drive. You're done. Chuck it away. You've already paid for it. It's done.
Oh.
Nice.
But it's the same.
You don't have to go buy.
It's the same thing. No. What do you mean? If it's single use, the movie's on the pen drive, then what, boss?
Are they?
You buy it.
It's already
Live in the
in.
moment.
It's already.
You know, it's already in.
And who
the
put it?
pen drive.
How did you put it on it, bro?
That's
That's the
manufactured
single
like
use.
that.
That's what the single
Yeah.
use will be for. You won't put something on it and then give it to someone else. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
You've
Right.
already put it
Yeah.
on.
What?
It's
Yeah,
downloaded
yeah.
into
No.
the system.
Okay, as a shark,
It does.
Pen
man.
Maru, guys.
as a shark,
Pen
I
Maru.
want to see you guys
Team up.
should combine
Make
your
out.
resources because resources seem to be limited.
I think.
You can use it twice.
Privacy concerns.
Twice.
Can I
Also
put my
again-
pen in your drive?
And at the end of the movie, you get all of Aman's sensitive information.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Concerning.
Who are you all getting this right?
I vote J.
As a
I vote
shark,
J.
I'm
Jay,
out.
right?
J had more clarity
I
about
think
the
Pen
product.
Maru is like, you know what I'm
Good
saying?
name also.
Yeah.
Well,
Kya
it's
spot,
It's like the worst part.
the worst name. Yeah, it's the worst name.
But I concede. Happily. Now he has to beat
I was
Prashasti.
looking forward to seeing Aman versus Prashasti.
Oh, dude, I forgot that's what the prize was. Oh, no.
This is the easiest one because it's actually kind of useful.
Even the first
okay.
one was useful, bro. The first one is environmentally friendly paper.
I was gonna. I
Yeah.
thought
Is
they were
it
that route.
environmentally friendly?
Bro, are you mad?
You're
You're
not
not with plastic.
They're not cutting down trees.
Are they put your
Deforestation.
Forest
Yeah.
But you can
3D
use
printing.
reused plastic and
Filament,
put a
yeah.
plastic bag in your printer, make
Yeah.
paper.
Bro, it was
I'm
much
sorry, I didn't understand only
I-
what 3D
I do
printing
wanna
is. Like,
say-
I'm not that ahead.
that the drawback to my product is the same drawback to Jay's
No.
product.
See, your product is taking an empty flash drive,
Yeah.
putting your own stuff.
info.
This is
Ah.
a pre-downloaded. It come. That's what the single use is for.
Yeah.
You put it
It's
in
a
once.
DVD.
Yeah,
He's
man.
talking about a
He's
DVD.
just for a DVD, yeah.
And
But
who
you can
doesn't
only see it
love
once.
DVDs?
It's like
Where
a
in the
rental thing where you don't have
world?
to
That's
run
why
the
it's
so
DVD.
relevant right now.
Literally.
I want to
Okay.
buy his product.
Your
Nice.
last product, guys, Prashasti versus Jay. Who wants to go first?
Me.
All right.
I love that.
It is a fridge camera for the break room in an office, but it's broadcast to everyone in the office.
Guys, do I really need to pitch this? Like, how entertaining would it be? Okay, whether I'm saying, forget. Of course, okay, when we made this product, the fridge camera, which will be broadcasting to everyone in office. Of course, okay, our initial thought was it would, you know, it would save the effort to mark your belongings or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, people would be shy in, you know, getting
Stealing.
into and stealing it. But let's face it, okay. what we've realized over our tests, extensive testing and research is just so fucking funny. Okay? To watch people approaching the fridge. Okay? And then stand there. Okay? Lost. Okay? What else do you need in office, guys? Okay? You just need some mild, basic entertainment. Okay? What is more joyful than sitting at your desk, looking at your stupid colleagues, okay, walking like zombies to the fridge, okay, and then realizing there's nothing, life will not get better, okay, once they open the fridge and then come out. So,
All right.
okay, so yeah, my pitch is, of course, there's safety, but there's so much entertainment. Shucks.
Amazing.
Amazing. Nice
Shucks.
pitch.
God bless, bro. Corporate life just sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that as well. Yeah. I'd like to start my pitch with a question.
Oh, I love a question.
Who in this room has ever been on... Thank you, Sid. Who has ever been on a weight loss journey? Just show of hands. Who in this room has been on a weight loss
Sure,
journey? Ever been on a weight loss
why
journey?
not?
A lot of people. Me included. I've been on a weight loss journey as well. What you really need more than anything else is accountability. Yeah. To yourself,
He's killed it.
to your family. You know how people say, "I would die for my family. I would kill for my family." You know, how about you live for your family? You know, how about you take care of yourself, eat right, exercise, and what is a better way to hold yourself accountable than a fridge which literally gives people your every move, eating wise, while you're at work, and we're even expanding to home range. You know, it's in the
It's
future.
in the works,
Like
yeah.
she said, there's extensive tests and research that needs to be done. But yeah,
Amazing.
that's what it will be used for. You know,
Beat,
What
you
if-
can't beat this pitch.
What if I don't keep my snacks in the fridge?
They will
There's a-
rot.
there's
That's why we're expanding our range to
Yeah.
microwaves and ovens and fridges.
Cabinets,
It's not just
cameras.
fridges. Give us some time, support our product. We'll make a
Yeah.
whole
So give them
range
some time and soon there'll be a camera in every nook and cranny.
in
of your
every
house.
room, in every room in your house.
Yeah.
And Jay will be
Amazing.
watching the feed
And
of
I
all of
will-
that.
Great one. I enjoy it.
Yeah. We all enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, bordering on like security issues, but sure. I'll give
I
it to
mean,
you.
you know, I'm gonna sell it to the OneDrive use pen drive guys. I'm gonna combine the two businesses.
Prashasti, thank you so much for being here. But before we let you go, we want your empty shelf item.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yes.
I really put my brains into it. Okay, one second.
I love that.
But not this.
Oh.
This isn't light anymore. That's
Oh, that's how you're getting
It's
it.
a very cute story to it actually. And so again, I was telling you earlier, right? That when I quit my job, I used to not hate my work ever, but I think towards the end it had just become very painful in the sense that I wanted to do something else, and then I felt stuck. But I think the time I was quitting, I really developed a lot of appreciation for my bosses and for my colleagues, because I think like the way people portray corporate culture is too dry. Okay, so there's a lot of humanity there. A lot of my bosses told me that we think this funny thing is not going to work out for you. You come back, okay? But that was great. That they said my biggest concern was security, and they were like, "You go experiment with your life, and whenever you want to come back, you come back." So
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah. So I'm saying I have a lot of human or very sweet memories of the time I was quitting office. So one of the things that happened, very, very small and sweet, but was that the person who used to sit close to me was not really my best friend in office. So someone I would just do small talk with, and
Shout them out.
Yeah, shout out
I
your.
don't want to take names, but I'm just saying because again,
Yeah.
we're never close. That's why the story is sweet. That I would look at this thing, okay, it used to light up, okay, at their desk, and every day I would pass, for small talk purpose, I would make a comment or whatever,
Yeah.
and we were never close, so we never had any sentimental conversation about me leaving. But the day I was leaving, okay, she just gave it to me. She's like,
Sweet.
you love it so much, take it, okay. And I really, it's like, I'm someone who really, it's been 7 years since I quit my job. 2018 I quit, right? So I actually periodically throw away a lot of stuff, like, because I think in my profession also people sometimes give you things, you keep collecting these merchandise items that keep coming to your house. So I, as a maniac, I keep doing these throwaway sessions in my house. But because this was such a sweet gesture, I was never able to like put it away. So today I was like, you know what? I'm not throwing this away. Okay, I am taking this from someone gave it to me from their shelf, and now I want to put it on someone else's shelf.
Thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you so
much.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
Thank you so much.
That's a very nice story.
Yeah.
It's also like I really love it when of course there's a lot of humanity you see in big gestures, but the kind you see in the such small gestures, like what, that person had nothing to gain from it or nothing to get from it. It was not that we would become great friends after that, but it was such a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Even Sarah just crying right now.
are you okay?
These are
Just think about the times
these are
Arya and him
in-house
have had
somebody.
together.
Again, thank you so much for being here,
Thank you.
Prashasti. Guys, we're going to
Thank
link
you.
everything of hers in the description. Go show her some love. If you can watch her on any of her upcoming at any of her upcoming shows, please do. And we can't wait to have you again, Prashasti. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. Woohoo.
Late night fuck, get a good grip, face light up. When you come, feel it on my tongue, but it won't slip. Could you be the one? But I don't know.